All right, I got 8 blocks to make into shingles. They could all be cut down. The shortest ones will be as I get up towards the peak. But they're only a couple inches shorter than these ones, so won't be a huge difference. In the whole scheme of things, everything will look the same as to what shows, and it'll lay out just fine. In fact, these will be used on the sides where the angle cuts are mostly, because that's where I lose most of my material. So this will create more than enough shingles, but I'm probably going to shingle the gable ends on this shop too, to keep it in the semi-matching this cabin's layout, but the siding is going to be different. All right, I get this off of here, and we'll get the shingle making tool on here. Before we continue working on the shingles, I thought I'd show you something that I've been using, and it's made a big difference using it in this cold weather. I figured this would be a good time to show you the new diesel heater by Hcalory. And I've been using it for about a week in the shop, and I've also put about a week in it in the tiny cabin. Good morning, welcome back to my channel. Well, it snowed last night. This is a good time to get this heater. I just got it yesterday, picked it up, and this is a toolbox diesel heater by Hcalory, and H standing for heater. It's a really nice unit. I'm going to break it out. We'll show it to you out here. We'll go back into the shop and get some light, and I'll be a little warmer in there. We'll get this thing assembled, and I'll show you how I'm going to set it up. You can just picture my shop, which is about 350 square foot. It's a big tent right now. There's no walls on it. It's just got plastic on it. So it's just a big old tent. So we'll see how well this actually heats it up in there. I've got a thermostat in there for indoor and outdoor temps, so we can look at that and see what both temps are at the same time in Fahrenheit. And right now it's about 32 degrees Fahrenheit out here. So I'll show you what's in here. Of course, you got your user's manual. I don't want to set that down right now. There we go, we can do that. Seems like a pretty robust container. You got some vents here to dissipate heat. Your latch is here. This is a diesel heater, so you got a fuel cap right here. You got a control here that can actually, it's zip tied right now, I got to cut that, but it can be removed. There's a cable and stuff for it. You can extend it out, so I could have this outside, and I could put the heat into the building. So we'll go ahead and pull out the stuff. I'll show you what it is. Let's take a look inside of it really quick, and then we'll get into more details on this unit. So I believe this is a 6-liter holding tank for your diesel. Now the diesel I'm going to use in it will come out red, but that's because it's off-road diesel that I use for my tractor. It's essentially the same thing as your other diesel, except for you don't pay a tax on it. And in here you'll have your bundle of wiring, and I've already pulled this out. If you get one of these, on your bundle of wiring here, which is the one for the control, you will have zip tied to it or remote. So you can remote start this. This can be put outside, plumb the heat inside. You could be inside and you can turn on the remote, and that works great for that. So this is where your exhaust goes out on this side, and then on here's where your heat blows in, so your exhaust can wrap out and around. So why don't we go in here and I'll take you from the beginning and show you everything. I went ahead and I was going to tell you about what I did. I have not seen other people do this. I don't know why, but maybe they have diesel in cans for their vehicles. The diesel that I use in my tractor is called off-road diesel. It is essentially the same diesel that you would get for cars. The dye color is red versus clear for the vehicle diesel. The difference is only the dye. It's the same diesel, but cost is also the additional differences. Diesel for a tractor has no road tax on it. Diesel for a vehicle does. So if you want to use diesel that's off-road diesel, it'll be the exact same thing. It'll work just fine in here and cost you a little bit less money, just for an FYI. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get this hooked up. I'm going to do something different than I've seen other people do. I'm going to go ahead and run it off of a 12-volt battery. I mean, I've seen people hook it up to, you know, like an EcoFlow, and I've got those too, and I could do that. You can hook this up. It's set up here. Let's break out some of the stuff. There's your exhaust vent pipe. You can bend it however you need. This is an air intake pipe, and this is your heat exhaust. And a cap for the heat exhaust. If you were to put it into a wall, that'd be rather nice. I'm not going to use this because I'm going to just set this inside, and I'll show you in a minute. Of course, there's that remote control again that I already pulled out of it internally. There are some brackets that come with this for this, and I don't believe, yeah, there's no mount points for this. This just goes out the back. They give you two brackets. I can see where there's a mount for one bracket only on here, so I will end up using that. I don't think there's any other, nope, I don't see any other holes. Air intake, basically a little collector to keep the dust out, and that'll go onto here. And your muffler. You can use it or not use it. I'm going to use the muffler. Of course, that's going to go on this. It's got a little weep hole in it. I don't know if you can see that here in the bottom. There's a weep hole, so you want to make sure that's pointing down so that any built-up condensation can drain and it won't rust out. If you put it this way, it's just going to collect and fill up and just totally rust out your muffler. There's that. Then you've got your extension. That's for your remote that's on the front of this. So this can come off, and you can feed the wiring in there, and you can hook this up. And you could, if this was outside, which I'm not going to use this today, then you could basically mount it on a post or the wall. So I won't be using that. Of course, you get your owner's manual. And if you want to hook up to 110, which most of the time that's what I see people doing, they're hooking this up. You can do that. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to hook up to a 12-volt battery, just because I happen to have a couple of 12-volt batteries around that I'm trying to use up, and when they're no good anymore, I won't replace them because they're lead acid. I've had them for years, but they still work. They offer a US version, and then they have like a European version because their plugs are totally different. So obviously if you're in another country. Little packet. This has some clamps and things. There is a filter for the fuel tank pour in area here, which I did not know that it came with because I didn't look at it before putting the fuel in. It's clean fuel. and I watched it go in. Everything went in good. But that just drops in right here. And that'll keep any, since there's no filter in there, that'll keep any debris that might be in your tank from going into here, getting into your fuel tank. So, this one, for the battery, you've got your little stud mount wires, and then you can just plug into your unit right back here. So we'll go ahead and get that all rigged up here in a minute, and then we'll get this all put together right now too. Let's hook up our exhaust. It goes on here. So there's that. This is going to go in here. Yeah, it's kind of what I want to do right there. Okay. That'll work. So if that's the case, I may bend this out. May have to look at that going this way. There we go. That way this can blow in. The other one will blow out, so I'll have it sideways like this, I guess. As other people have complained, I don't like the bracket being here with this, but if you were to move this, then all would be good. Alright, I think. Yeah. Like that. There we go. Good enough. It's not going anywhere. We got like a sleet coming down now. We'll go ahead and get power hooked up to this thing. That came right on. So what we're going to do here is we're going to push these two buttons. I believe that's how you prime it and get the pump going. So we'll see how that works. I'll get you repositioned for that. You can hear a little bit of ticking going on. That's the pump. But that won't keep doing that. You won't hear it once it's running. Use the remote here. Yeah, it's blowing air. There we go. Now it's starting to kick on. I got on high altitude at number 8. Very quiet. Oh yeah, it's getting warm. It's 41 degrees in here. Out here off grid, having reliable heat really makes a difference, especially once the snow starts piling up. That happens a lot here. This is the Hcalory Toolbox 2S diesel heater. That's Hcalory, with the H for heater and calorie for heat. It's a compact, all-in-one unit that's built tough, is easy to move wherever and whenever you need it. It warms up fast, about 3 minutes to full output. It's got an aluminum case, it's built durably, and can reach temperatures of 135 Celsius, which is extremely hot. It's surprisingly fuel efficient. Hcalory redesigned the combustion chamber for 36% more fuel efficiency, and with a 6-liter fuel tank, it can run up to 50 hours, almost 5 days on a single fuel fill. The new silent oil pump is a nice touch. It's one of the quietest diesel heaters I've used. No annoying clicking noises. Everything's controlled through the smart Hcalory app. It lets you set timers, adjust among 10 heat levels, switch to a fan mode, or even turn on high altitude, like where I'm at, if you're up in the mountains. I'll share more of my experience with this heater and long-term thoughts later in the video, but so far it's been very impressive. Simple, efficient, and ready for real off-grid use. So I went ahead and thought I would put the Hcalory in my tiny cabin. I've ran a line through the wall right here. I got this pointed slightly up. Really it could be even, it won't matter. I've went through 1 tank of fuel. It lasted for a week. I ran this all day yesterday and a little bit this morning in here, which it warms up nicely. You can see I've only went through, maybe 25% of the tank between this morning and all day yesterday. So not bad. I mean, it gets really good fuel consumption. It doesn't really use a lot of fuel to heat. This time, instead of on the battery, the 12 volt was what I was using in the shop. And I'll show you up above here. I put the control. I've had the control up through here. And I've got it up here on the wall. All right, so I have the control up here. And I could use the remote if I wanted. I put it right here. Or I can just fire it up this way too. So I've got temperature 31 degrees outside. It did snow again last night. I'm 62 in here currently. I've got this set. I changed it to Fahrenheit for me. So it's set at 65 Fahrenheit. So I can just go up or down with it if I want. I find that I can set this around 64 for the temp on that. And it gets up to at least 68 in here, 67, which is quite comfortable. So this is 166 square foot. I am really pleased with this little heater. It's so quiet. I mean, it's just now starting to fire up. It hasn't started heating yet. Right now it's prepping for it. What will happen, and I don't know if I can get you close enough to see, you can see now it's pumping, it's just starting to make heat. You can see the red in there. Yeah, it'll probably get to 66 or 67 in a little bit. This little heater has been a real workhorse. It definitely has kept the place warm for this time of year. Anyhow, now that I'm nice and toasty, how about we go outside, get to the milling, and make some shingles. Okay, this is kind of a test. I had to tighten up a bunch of stuff here, replace this blade, and then I did do a cut. I don't remember if I filmed it. It was a test cut. And these wobbled really bad. Now they're solid because I've got straps here. I had to use a dog tie down for a leash to anchor in the middle here. I had a place to anchor over here. So these are violently shaking, which is causing the cuts to go bad. So we'll find out how this works. This should stop any shaking, but that means I've got to undo these every time, adjust this, and then retighten things back down. So it's going to take a lot longer every cut than I had anticipated, but still quicker than doing them by hand. So I'm not going to whine too much about it, but let's see how this works out. I had the wrong setting on them, too thick. So this is how I want them to turn out. This is one I did earlier and it worked out good. That's the ones I just cut. You can see they're a lot thicker. So that's not going to work out for me at all. But that's okay. I'll cut them and use them as wedging for stuff if I ever need something to wedge with. But ultimately, I want them to end up like this. So I just got to get a feel for what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going to tighten it up. I'll just have to do that. There we go. Well, let's give it a shot. All right, those are working better. Those are doable. Those will be nice. Ah. Those are nice. Yeah, nice and even there. So that worked. We'll get everything pulled out of here and moved over to the deck for now. What I don't use in the long run, I will end up saving. Put them up in the loft maybe temporarily while I'm building, and then come back and use them later. So yeah, that'll be nice. This is an old piece of Tamarack I've had around. I could probably see if it fit on there, and I could turn that block into more. They'd be all nice and clean just like those after I started getting past the outer wood. You can see I've got a lot. I still got one more block to do, so I'll have 2 more rows like this. Definitely enough to get this little tiny cabin done. And that's really the important thing right now. Thank you for watching my video this week. If you are interested in that Hcalory heater, I will leave a link in the pinned comments down below for Amazon. And I'll also have that code down there for you so that you can get 15% off on it. That was a really nice heater. The forced air heater is really nice in comparison to radiant heaters. So you can't go wrong with this heater. I'm going to be probably looking at getting a second one for myself to put in my shop at some point in the future. For now, I'll just deal with what I've got here. So I hope you enjoyed this video this week. We've got the shingles made on the shingle making machine, so they're a different style of shingle. We're going to work this side of the building first. We're going to get that gable end done next week. If we get done with that and can move on to this side, I'll get that side done too. I will be making some trim for the windows on this side. This side's already got it. and then we'll put the shingles up over here too. So a little bit of milling next week. I've also got some furring strips I got to put up. So I'm going to put those up before I put the shingles up. And I hope you enjoyed the video this week. If you did, I really would appreciate a comment, a thumbs up, and if you're not following me, please support my channel and follow my channel. That's going to help me out, plus all those other things. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.